What's going on, world? What's going on, Japan? So we got some good news here, potentially for y'all that I know y'all are gonna like and be happy about. And I was reading this earlier, but I didn't get to my video, so I was like, you know what, this guy did a good job, so I'm gonna react to his. But basically, it looks like physical pre-orders for Assassin's Creed Shadows are being ignored at this moment. Obviously, there hasn't been a whole lot of marketing on it, and there's not a lot of hype on it. People are actually ignoring it. And Grum's over here has a tweet here on Twitter that has this guy right here, Stuttering Craig. My insider told me that as this morning at their nationwide big box chain, which has like 900 stores, it has less than 800 pre-orders across Xbox and PlayStation. Keep in mind, digital is definitely huge over here, like 70 to 80%, probably a little bit less than Xbox. But still, you would at least hope for like a couple thousand pre-orders, right? 'Cause there's a lot of people in Western society. But yeah, that means less than one pre-order per store. By the way, y'all like subscribe, y'all like this type of content. I've been covering this controversy for quite some time. Look at my page right here, with Japan. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Look at my Assassin's Creed coverage. Assassin's Creed right here. Right here, exposing Thomas Lockley, all the bad things, they did to Japan, backing them up. Right here, right here. And you see my videos were pretty up there. I mean, I fully covered this. Like a damn archive up on this, covering everything you could possibly imagine. And I'm gonna keep covering it till the game launches and after, till we're pretty much done with it. Obviously, I have a lot of more of the content too, but yeah. So yeah, that's not really looking good. So, but we got to get the digital numbers too. Another thing too is that a lot of people are deciding to take the Ubisoft Plus route because they don't want to buy their games. That's what I would do, if I decide to play the game. They also put their games on sales faster than other people too. But yeah, this is not looking good. Let's see if this guy has to say real quick.
Be a really bad year for Ubisoft. They have two AAA games coming out in a short period of time. One of them comes out tomorrow. That's Star Wars Outlaws, unless you paid the crazy price of $100 to $130 for that Ultimate Edition. And then around October, I believe, Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to drop. So if both of those games fail, that's going to be really bad for them because I'm
That's
sure they dumped a lot of money into both games. For
definitely Star Wars. It's the most expensive game they've ever made. I don't think that problem is as bad, nowhere near as bad as Assassin's Creed, because they're not disrespecting specifically any culture or being like racist or bigot or just, historically inaccurate, all of that. No, what they're doing is they're crapping on a franchise, but that goes back to what the hell Disney's pushing, which I can't stand. The problem with Star Wars is definitely the main character, the DEI aspect of that. But past that, we have to look at what type of video game it actually is. Assassin's Creed has a lot more problems than that. But technically, I just feel like Yasuke should have never existed. If it would have just been Naoi only, and it would have at least not disrespected Japan, it would have been in a better position. And if they would have just stuck to things and worked with them, it could have been the most epic Assassin's Creed game of all time. There's still a lot to see on it, but yeah, they just made way too many mistakes.
4 years is what it took to develop Assassin's Creed Shadows, according to a new interview with
Hmm.
GamesIndustry.biz. Quite a bit of time. Not as long as Concord, which apparently took 8 years, but considering a lot of the assets for Assassin's Creed games get handed off, it's not that crazy because keep in mind they all use, I'm pretty sure, the same engine for a generation and they'll reuse what they can for the next game. So it makes it a little bit easier compared to a game just starting off from scratch. But here's the interesting thing. So there's a new rumor that pre-orders for this game are in the toilet. And I want to make it clear this is a rumor. We don't actually know what these numbers are, but it's a pretty
Well, I don't think this guy is lying. There's over 900 stores. His insider told him. So, because we can't see it ourselves, I can understand how that could be viewed as that, but I think this is pretty grounded here. This individual right here. So,
good source
Yeah.
So, Stuttering Craig, the guy who runs the Side Scrollers podcast, I appear over there on Mondays. He also built up a little thing called Screw Attack. So I'm pretty sure he's got video game insiders. He's been in the game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he took to Twitter to talk about Star Wars Outlaws pre-orders, which he says are bad, and Assassin's Creed Shadows pre-orders. So he originally said, in a response to Grums, who said, I'm told a massive amount of keys went out to streamers yesterday and today. It's working. Star Wars Outlaws at 112K viewers right now on Twitch, likely all part of one of Ubisoft's most expensive marketing campaigns. And he's right. The marketing for Outlaws is big. Whether or not the game sells or not, I don't know. Keep in mind, even
The problem with that game is that yeah, we need to wait on numbers, but like I said, you got that Ubisoft Plus service, which you could pay like 17 plus, and be able to get the Ultimate Edition of games, and then beat it and be done with it. Because I don't want to replay those games anyways. And Ubisoft games go on sale too. People usually wait for that. And Star Wars, like I said, I think the digital sales will be a lot higher. I think this game will sell more than Assassin's Creed. So we'll have to see on that. But
because
yeah, I mean, there's damage
both of
done because
these
of
reports
DEI.
are on
I
physical
love it.
orders. So keep in mind, digital is kind of where it's at now, but people still buy physical games.
Hmm.
And I do think that there's a large portion of people that do still buy physical. But yeah, they sent out a bunch of keys to get eyes on the game. And Twitch is a popular outlet where people go watch streamers. So they get the keys to the game to as many big streamers as possible. It is a good way to market your game. And here's what Craig had to say. He said, I have an insider who works for high-traffic game stores in one of the most populated places in the U.S. They have 27 stores in that area, and there have been a total of 41 pre-orders for Star Wars Outlaws. 41. There is no hype for this game. Now, I do kind of believe that. I really don't see a lot of excitement for Outlaws. In fact, when I search on social media to see what people and characters
Yeah, we're gonna
slid
get to
down
Assassin's
around the
Creed.
game right now. Everybody would have bought it. What makes this kind of surprising? Because, yeah, we're all laughing at it and making fun of the game right now because of certain choices that the developers made with it. But for the most part, not everybody really pays attention to it.
It's you need to stop feminizing Star Wars. Star Wars: The Acolyte got canceled. Worst viewership ever. Get out of here with that fem crap. You know what I mean? It's a masculine series. It's supposed to be epic, shake the entire world. But no, you're putting the DEI garbage in there and water it down. A character in Star Wars is very important how they appear. Han Solo should have been in there.
It's a brand that's still on a high. But apparently, Craig had an insider come to him that said, as of this morning, at their nationwide big box chain, Assassin's Creed Shadows has less than 800 pre-orders combined for Xbox and PS5 company-wide. They have 900 stores. That is less than one pre-order per store. Yikes. That's wild to think about if that's true. One pre-order, less than one pre-order per store. That's insane because this is a high-profile game. Has there been damage done to Assassin's Creed? I don't follow the Assassin's
Yes, we've
Creed
done
games
it.
that much because I've never really been a big fan of them. I don't like them, but I get that people do. They
I do.
aren't for me. I've never been a big fan of them. I don't like that future shit, traveling back in your DNA for genetic memories or whatever that shit is. I don't like any of that future stuff.
That's okay.
It's turned me off to the entire series. But I don't hate. If you like it, that's cool. But that is disastrous. They could have two high-profile L's. And it's funny because Park Place covers that financial report that they put out in Q2 where a guy asked them about this because they're being very conservative on the units that they expect to move for Outlaws and for Shadows. And one of their investors called them out and was like, "Look, these are big games. Why are you being so conservative on the numbers?" And they didn't really give a very good answer to that. But
Yeah, I covered that. They did the worst thing they could because investors are not going to be fooled. Then they pulled the stock after that.
I do wonder, like it seems like they are concerned about the sales for this. And this could all be nothing and the game could sell like crazy, but
It's definitely going to sell more than this, but that's not the point. The point is that we did damage, and they're going to remember that. And when you do that, you make them think about that forever because you're trying to attack the DEI aspect. As I said before, my problem with Assassin's Creed is the disrespect towards Japan, not working with them, the disrespect towards the Japanese male and not being able to be featured in his history. Thomas Lockley fabricating and making up lies, saying that Japan has something to do with black slavery, which is absolutely stupid. On top of that, garbage apologies, continuing to slander with the game and a lot of things they're doing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Disrespecting the dead. Yusuke is not even here. Making him gay. Not only that, but the way that he came into the Japanese village, slaughtering people, getting them to bow to them. All these things that are just not real when you talk about historical accuracy. Um, and you scrapped the original idea. It was supposed to be a Japanese male, and you did that to push the DEI agenda. There's just so much wrong with this game. But then you had a lot of people with stupid mentalities that really thought the reason why this game is a problem, and this is just people over here in Western society, that it's because your suitcase black and that's racist. And I'm like, yeah, if people still think like that till this day after everything that came out, then to me they're just brain dead and they're just completely just dumb. Because you can't think that now. Like there's so much information in front of you. And what Thomas Lockley did by fabricating a lot of lies about him uh, that were not true, making him into this hero that he was not. It's not real. You know what I mean? Now, if you would have made a fiction game and had him as a side character, and then into some DLC too with Nobunaga, that would have been nice. Do things the right way. Like show how he struggles. You don't do any of that. And he isn't the main protagonist, obviously Naoi is, but the way you displayed him, you made it kind of seem that way. You did a lot of things they did are just everything is just done the wrong way. They should have done this the right way, but they did not do this the right way. And because of that, there's so much backlash. And you didn't even try to make amends or do anything so far. Everything has just been just bad. And I like old Ubisoft, you know what I mean? I don't hate the CEO of Ubisoft either because I know that at the heart of Ubisoft, they're not really like this. What this is the mafia invasion. And if you're not in that and you don't really know how that stuff really works, like I said, no developer really wants to do this. Even the CEO of Ubisoft, he does not want to do this. This goes back to either you comply or we're going to replace you with other people to comply. They have to find a way to fight this, and we have to help by not supporting it. Once it dies and they see it doesn't work, you just have to keep fighting it. Because this is not what a real game developer would want to do. They don't want to do nothing to do with any of this crap. This is an invasion behind the scenes. This goes back to suit and ties. This goes back to the devilry in the world. This goes back to evil principles. This is stuff that's been going on for a while. Messing with people's history, disrespecting other people's cultures. This is not a video game issue. This is a world issue that's been going on for a very long time. And now it's right here doing this, and we have to know how to deal with it. And the best thing to do is to fight it, not sit there being complacent and not doing anything about it. That's what I like about the Japanese culture. They're not sitting there and letting you disrespect their culture. That's what I like what China's doing. That's what I like what South Korea is doing. Western society needs to do it more because it's a root in Western society that ends up going everywhere else. And you have to attack it at the root. That's how you deal with a problem. You don't attack the branches, you pull out the roots. If we could attack it and get to the roots and get it out of here, then it can't grow anymore. So the best thing to do is vote with your wallet, have the right people that have pages like us. That's why I want my page to grow more and deal with this, fight against it. That's how you fight against it. If not, it gets too big, then you have to deal with this big corrupt monster, and that's just not good, y'all. So yeah, the best thing to do is fight it till it's over with. The people let people say whatever they want. It doesn't matter. As long as you know you're doing the right thing right here, that's what matters. And we see right here, even though this may not be the actual numbers, you're still doing damage to this corruption. That's good. That's not bad.
what if they do have two big losses this year?
In a way, they will.
That could be devastating to them because a lot of money goes into these games. I don't think people realize how much money it takes to make a game like this. If both of these games fail, that'll be devastating.
Look, what he's saying is correct. Watch this. Star Wars Outlaws, most expensive game, Ubisoft. I know this. The Star Wars Outlaw. Hold on. Let's find this. Ubisoft has invested the most money in Star Wars Outlaws. This is the most expensive game in terms of marketing in the history of Ubisoft. The Star Wars IP is so expensive. This is what blows my mind. It's like you got Disney coming in. Assassin's Creed is also expensive too, but this game is incredibly expensive. They need this to succeed more than anything they ever had. That's why that you see this being marketed more than Assassin's Creed. I promise you, y'all, more stuff is going to come out on Assassin's Creed now that this game has launched today officially. But they needed this to happen, so they're going to get as much as they can out of this. That's what a lot of people just don't understand. Watch, a lot more of this is going to be revealed. We don't even know how big the map is. There's so much more that can piss us off, or there's so much more that could be like, okay, I actually like this, but I just would like for them to do the right things, double down, fix what you can in the game, apologize to Japan the right way, and try to do the right things. Will they? I don't know, man, but we're going to see.
To Ubisoft as a company because they're really expecting these games to sell hard and really take off in the market. And I'm just not so sure that's going to happen. I'm just not so sure about it. So we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see. It'll be something to watch. There's some numbers here for how it's doing over on PlayStation. Outlaws here is listed at number 6.
That's right. I've checked
for
it.
Pre-orders of their best-selling titles behind Black Ops and NBA 2K.
And it's lower on Xbox.
NBA 2K Hall of Fame, these different versions of
I have
the
both
basketball
next
game.
gen.
Assassin's Creed in its various versions. One comes in at the Ultimate Edition, comes in at 22. And the base game sits at the 31st position. The Gold Edition is at 42. Star Wars Outlaws is at 6 for best-selling titles over on PlayStation. And what's funny is it's behind, Call of Duty, which I don't even think comes out for another month, and Madden, that comes out pretty soon. College football still up there.
No, that's right, because COD is getting a whole bunch of gameplay. There's also a beta coming out, so of course that's going to go up there. You can't compete with that game in sales.
There. So it's really tough to say what's going on with this. I don't know. Take all this with a grain of salt, but this could be really bad for them.
It's damage, y'all. We did
really
it.
bad. We'll see if it comes true or not. It's gonna.
And you see, Japan's not wrong for what they do, and neither are anyone else. We just want you to do the right thing. I know this. It's not a question, It's right here tells you just do the right thing. Will you do the right thing? That's it.
Going to be tough because we're not really going to get any numbers from anybody, but you can kind of gauge things out based on charts. And
if they ain't giving investor numbers, they definitely ain't giving people numbers because they know it's going to be used against them. They're going to play it out as long as they can into the fiscal results.
How things are looking excitement-wise online. And so we should find out eventually how well it's doing, but I don't think it looks very good for them. A lot of controversy surrounding all these. And, I don't know how much that will affect the wider things, but, sales-wise, but it's not good. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe.
Thanks for sharing, brother. I was going to do a video myself, but I figured I'd combine mine with yours. But there you have it, y'all. Like, subscribe, like to start content. Japan, let me know what y'all think in the comments, and everyone else too. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a great day, evening, night, wherever you're at around the world.